Rich gold has been active this past week. There's been numerous attempts for it to reach $2,000 an ounce. What has just recently happened with gold?
It's moving. The sleeping giant has awoken. We were down at a conference in Florida last week, and everybody was talking about gold. A lot of them were still wondering why it wasn't moving higher and if it would ever break through 2000. So last week and the week before, it rallied 3 times up to 2000, just got over, and then fell back below. And earlier this week, we had a different scenario. Gold took off and blew through 2000. I don't know if this is the one, right? It may very well pull back below again, but this time it shot significantly above $2,000 an ounce to 2021 earlier this week, just in one day's trading. That was about a $35 move. Silver on the same day, over $1 in appreciation, got up over $25 an ounce. So silver is following gold's lead. I think on that day, gold was up about 2%. Silver was up almost 5%. So we've talked about that before, how silver follows gold and then outpaces it upside and downside. We got a little bit of a taste of that earlier this week. And as I've always said, it's all about the dollar, right? So the first 9 months of last year, gold was kind of kept in its place and the dollar was surging by about 20%. It gave up those gains, the dollar did, the last quarter and through January of this year, and we saw gold rebound, right? In February, the dollar had a little bit of a bear market rally and gold was down. Guess what? All that went away in March. The dollar has fallen back. It's below 102 on the US dollar index. And that means it's gold's time right now. The sleeping giant has awoken.
There's another giant out there right now called inflation.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
I've heard of it.
Yes. We all have, yeah. What does the Fed need to do to control inflation? Can they control inflation?
Well, I think part of the problem is, they'll swear up and down that they are not under the thumb of Congress, that they have no political bone in their bodies, et cetera. But I'm telling you, they're under the thumb of Congress, and Congress is the problem. I've said it before, where the Fed oftentimes is left with 2 horrible decisions. Either they're going to let the currency devalue, which you really can't do that with the world's reserve currency, or they have to increase the money supply. Why? Because Congress, both houses, both parties for decades have been spending too much money, right? Money we don't have on different things, mind you. Republicans spending on one thing, Democrats spending on others. But in the end, they spend more money than we take in revenue, and that is not sustainable. There is no magical money tree. It is not healthy to go into debt till you can't pay it back. And eventually, somebody's got to come up with a backbone and say no to some of this spending. And until that happens, the Fed can raise rates forever. They can go to 100% interest rate increases. It doesn't matter. They can never catch up if the Fed doesn't control the pocketbook. Or I'm sorry, the Congress doesn't control the pocketbook, sorry.
And, I wonder often if these politicians who are spending all the money, if they would do that with their own pocketbook and their own funds, that it's fiscally responsible, as some of them say, to spend this money.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'd have a lot more things if I didn't have to balance my checkbook every month, but unfortunately I do. So, and I
it
know
would
you
come
do
back
as
and
well.
bite you.
Of course it would. Of course it would. So you learn to say no to wants, and you say yes, and find a way to say yes to needs. And the Congress has to figure out what's a want and what's a need. Not everything is a need. I'm sorry, it just isn't. And you got to learn to say no, and you got to get a backbone. So I'll pray for that.
Yeah, the can, I think, has been kicked as far down the road as it can be kicked.
Oh, they'll kick it further. Make no mistake. It doesn't make life better for us. We're all paying for that.
Yes.
Paying for that. It comes up in inflation. Inflation is a tax, basically assessed on us for a Congress that doesn't know how to balance their checkbooks.
Almost a scam, if I can say that. But that leads us into our next
segue.
topic. For Escape Artist Insiders magazine next month, our theme is going to be about avoiding scams.
Yes.
So, Rich,
I am
what do
looking
you have to
forward to
say?
this theme. I got to tell you, Charlotte, because it gives us a direct opportunity to help people to avoid making mistakes, right? So I've got a ton of knowledge over 27 years that I can impart on your readers of the magazine. If you're not a reader of the magazine, you need to subscribe to this magazine. It is worthwhile. Covers a whole bunch of different areas every month. This time around, we're going to give you some really actionable advice. I'll just give you one tidbit. Okay, one of several to keep you out of trouble when it comes to buying gold so you can keep what's yours. And that's basically whenever you're looking to buy precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, coins, bars, rare coins, whatever, when you go to that dealer, promise me, everyone listening, promise me, I'm listening. Did you say it? Okay,
I promise.
thank you. I want you to promise me that you're going to ask this one question. When I am ready to sell this back, will you, the dealer, buy it back from me? You will be surprised how many times the answer is no. And if the answer is no, you have to do me another favor. Don't ever buy anything from them in the first place. The only reason a dealer, no matter what they say, whatever excuse they come up with, whatever story they weave, the only reason they won't buy back is because they charge you too much going in. And if they bought back, they would expose that massive margin that they're charging you. They have 4-color brochures. They're on TV. They're giving stuff away left and right. And it's all because you're paying for it, because they're charging you way too much money because they don't buy back. They don't have to be worried about being embarrassed by how much they charge you going in. Promise me, if they don't buy back, don't ever buy from them. It's a terrible investment right off the bat, I can tell you.
That is a fantastic tip. And I'm excited to read your article for the May edition, Rich, and
I'm
see what
excited to
other
write it.
tips.
I'm gonna get
Yes,
busy.
yes. They're going to be good articles for me to edit, that's for sure. I look
It'll be
forward to
fun.
reading them all. So